Welcome to Mystery, where the wisdom of the ages meets the challenges of today. In today's video, we delve into the life and philosophy of Erich Fromm, an influential social psychologist, psychoanalyst, and philosopher. Born in 19 in Frankfurt, Germany, Fromm was a man ahead of his time, whose ideas transcended the boundaries of psychology, sociology, and philosophy. Fromm's early exposure to Talmudic studies and his experience of the societal upheavals of the early 20th century deeply influenced his thinking. His works, including Escape from Freedom and The Art of Loving, explored the complexities of human nature, love, and freedom, offering profound insights into our societal and personal struggles. Beyond his scholarly pursuits, Fromm was an ardent advocate for social change, peace, and humanistic values. He believed in the power of love and freedom as pivotal forces for personal and societal transformation. Join us as we explore 30 of Erich Fromm's most impactful quotes, diving deep into his thoughts on love, freedom, and the human condition, and their relevance in today's world. Love is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for the promise to love each other forever. A feeling comes and it may go. How can I judge that it will stay forever, when my act does not involve judgment and decision? The concept of love as more than just a feeling has been explored by various thinkers throughout history. Erich Fromm's quote emphasizes that love transcends fleeting emotions and involves a deliberate decision and commitment. In today's fast-paced society, this quote reminds us of the importance of conscious choice and sustained effort in love. A person who has not been completely alienated, who has remained sensitive and able to feel, who has not lost the sense of dignity, who is not yet for sale cannot help feeling lonely, powerless, isolated in present-day society. He cannot help doubting himself and his own convictions, if not his sanity. Not rarely will he suffer from neurosis that results from the situation of a sane man living in an insane society. This reflects the struggle of maintaining authenticity in a society that often values conformity. It highlights the internal conflict faced by those who resist societal norms. This quote speaks to the experience of alienation and the challenge of preserving personal integrity. Love isn't something natural. Rather, it requires discipline, concentration, patience, faith, and the overcoming of narcissism. It isn't a feeling, it is a practice. This challenges the common notion that love is a spontaneous emotion. It redefines love as a committed action requiring effort and growth. This quote emphasizes love as an active practice, not just a passive feeling. If other people do not understand our behavior, so what? Their request that we must only do what they understand is an attempt to dictate to us. Mostly they resent our freedom and our courage to be ourselves. We owe nobody an explanation or an accounting, as long as our acts do not hurt or infringe on them. Let your deeds be judged, and from your deeds, your real intentions. But know that a free person owes an explanation only to himself, to his reason and his conscience. This speaks to the importance of individuality and autonomy. It advocates for personal freedom and self-expression. The quote encourages standing firm in one's beliefs and actions, despite external misunderstandings. Paradoxically, the ability to be alone is the condition for the ability to love. This reflects on the importance of individual independence in developing the capacity to love others. It highlights self-sufficiency as a foundation for healthy relationships. This quote suggests that true love comes from a place of personal completeness, not dependency. Immature love says, "I love you because I need you." Mature love says, "I need you because I love you." This differentiates between a love based on dependency and a love based on genuine affection. It emphasizes that mature love is about valuing the person for who they are. This quote underscores the evolution of love from self-centered to selfless. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. This highlights the need for risk-taking and openness in creative endeavors. It suggests that clinging to the familiar can stifle innovation. This quote encourages embracing uncertainty as a path to originality and discovery. The main condition for the achievement of love is the overcoming of one's narcissism. The opposite pole to narcissism is objectivity, It is the faculty to see other people and things as they are, objectively, and to be able to separate this objective picture from a picture which is formed by one's desires and fears. The concept of narcissism as a barrier to true love has been explored in psychology and philosophy. Fromm's statement emphasizes the importance of overcoming narcissism to achieve true love. In contemporary relationships, this quote underscores the necessity of self-awareness and empathy. That millions of people share the same forms of mental pathology does not make these people sane. This challenges the idea that normalcy is determined by majority behavior. It questions the societal standards of mental health. This quote encourages critical thinking about societal norms and mental wellness. Love is not primarily a relationship to a specific person, it is an attitude, an orientation of character which determines the relatedness of a person to the world as a whole. If a person loves only one other person and is indifferent to the rest of his fellow men, his love is not love but a symbiotic attachment, or an enlarged egotism. This quote challenges the traditional concept of love as being exclusive to a specific person, suggesting a broader, more inclusive understanding. Erich Fromm presents love as a character orientation, a way of relating to the world rather than just an attachment to an individual. In contemporary society, this perspective on love encourages us to expand our capacity for compassion and connection beyond individual relationships. If a person loves only one other person and is indifferent to all others, his love is not love but a symbiotic attachment, or an enlarged egotism. This highlights the difference between true love and dependence or selfishness. It suggests that genuine love extends beyond a single relationship to encompass compassion for all. This quote challenges us to evaluate the nature and breadth of our love. One cannot be deeply responsive to the world without being saddened very often. This reflects the emotional depth required to truly engage with the world. It acknowledges the sadness that often accompanies empathy and awareness. This quote highlights the emotional cost of deep understanding and connection. Man is the only animal for whom his own existence is a problem which he has to solve. This underscores the unique existential dilemma faced by humans. It speaks to the constant search for meaning and purpose in human life. This quote emphasizes the inherent existential challenges of being human. Infantile love follows the principle, I love because I am loved. Mature love follows the principle, I am loved because I love. Immature love says, I love you because I need you. Mature love says, I need you because I love you. This differentiates between self-centered and altruistic views of love. It contrasts the growth from a need-based to a giving-based approach to love. This quote highlights the evolution of love from dependency to genuine care and affection. There is perhaps no phenomenon which contains so much destructive feeling as moral indignation, which permits envy or hate to be acted out under the guise of virtue. This statement critiques the way moral indignation can mask harmful emotions. It warns against using virtue as a cover for negative emotions like envy and hate. This quote emphasizes the need for authentic emotional awareness and expression. Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence. This highlights love as a fundamental solution to the challenges of human life. It posits love as the key to finding meaning and fulfillment. This quote suggests that love brings sanity and satisfaction to our existence. Modern man has transformed himself into a commodity. He is alienated from himself, his fellow men, and nature. His main aim is profitable exchange of his skills and personality with others equally intent on exchange. Life has no goal except to move, no principle except fair exchange, no satisfaction except to consume. This reflects on the commodification of modern life and its impact. It criticizes how people become alienated in a consumer-driven society. This quote discusses the loss of connection and purpose in the pursuit of material gain. Nationalism is our form of incest, is our idolatry, is our insanity. Patriotism is its cult. Just as love for one individual which excludes the love for others is not love, love for one's country which is not part of one's love for humanity is not love, but idolatrous worship. This criticizes the extreme forms of nationalism and patriotism. It compares the exclusionary love for a country to a lack of genuine love. This quote suggests that true love is inclusive and extends to all humanity. Love means to commit oneself without guarantee, to give oneself completely in the hope that our love will produce love in the loved person. Love is an act of faith, and whoever is of little faith is also of little love. This defines love as a selfless commitment and an act of faith. It highlights the uncertainty and risk inherent in loving. This quote emphasizes that love is about giving without expecting anything in return. It is naively assumed that the fact that the majority of people share certain ideas and feelings proves the validity of these ideas and feelings. Nothing could be further from the truth. Consensual validation as such has no bearing on reason or mental health. This challenges the assumption that majority consensus validates ideas or feelings. It critiques the reliance on consensual validation over individual reasoning. This quote encourages independent thinking and critical analysis. What does one person give to another? He gives of himself, of the most precious he has, he gives of his life. In giving of his life, he enriches the other person, enhances the other's sense of aliveness. He does not give to receive, giving is in itself exquisite joy. This describes the act of giving as a selfless sharing of one's own life and essence. It highlights the enriching impact of giving on both the giver and the receiver. This quote emphasizes that true giving is about enhancing the lives of others without expecting anything in return. Man's main task is to give birth to himself. This suggests that self-realization and personal development are central to human life. It underscores the importance of actively shaping one's own identity and destiny. This quote conveys that the journey of life is about becoming who we truly are. The quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Uncertainty is the very condition to impel man to unfold his powers. This critiques the obsession with certainty in understanding life and its purpose. It suggests that embracing uncertainty is crucial for personal growth and discovery. This quote encourages embracing the unknown as a catalyst for unleashing one's potential. Modern man thinks he loses something time when he does not do things quickly. Yet he does not know what to do with the time he gains except kill it. This critiques the modern obsession with speed and efficiency. It points out the irony of not knowing how to meaningfully utilize saved time. This quote suggests that the value of time is in its experience, not just its efficiency. The faculty to think objectively is reason. The emotional attitude behind reason is that of humility. Love requires the development of humility, objectivity, and reason. One must see the difference between one's narcissistically distorted picture of a person and the person's reality. This emphasizes the importance of objectivity, humility, and reason in love. It highlights the need to differentiate between distorted perceptions and reality in relationships. This quote underscores the role of self-awareness and understanding in genuine love. Giving is the highest expression of potency. In giving, I experience my strength, my wealth, my power, and joy. Giving is more joyous than receiving, not because it is a deprivation, but because it expresses my aliveness. This celebrates the act of giving as an empowering and joyful experience. It contrasts the fulfillment found in giving with the passive nature of receiving. This quote highlights that the true joy and expression of life come from the act of giving. The mature response to the problem of existence is love. This statement suggests that love is a fundamental solution to the existential questions of life. It highlights love as a key element in achieving a fulfilling and meaningful existence. This quote promotes the idea that love is essential for personal growth and understanding. The task we must set for ourselves is not to feel secure, but to be able to tolerate insecurity. This emphasizes the importance of embracing uncertainty and insecurity in life. It suggests that personal growth comes from the ability to handle life's uncertainties. This quote challenges the notion of seeking absolute security, advocating for resilience instead. The real opposition is that between the ego-bound man, whose existence is structured by the principle of having, and the free man, who has overcome his egocentricity. This highlights the conflict between materialistic and ego-driven lifestyles versus a life of freedom and self-transcendence. It critiques the limitations of a life focused solely on possessions and ego. This quote encourages a shift from egocentric living to a more liberated and self-aware existence. Is love an art? Then it requires knowledge and effort. This poses love as a skill that can be developed and perfected. It implies that love is more than just a feeling, it is a practice that requires understanding and work. This quote suggests that to love effectively, one must learn and actively engage in the process. Appreciation for joining our journey.